Hello, and welcome to our session on handling objections. Whatever you're going to do in life, you're going to meet objections to what you want to do. This goes in relationships, it goes in business transactions, and it's always good to know how to handle and move forward in negotiation. And so today we're going to give you some very simple techniques and strategies to help you do just that. And in our handling objections session, we have a simple worksheet, so let's go to it now. All right, so here we are, handling objections. An objection is often based on misinformation or, more importantly, lack of information. Obviously, if we're talking to people about commerce through capitalism, they will have no clue on what you're talking about. They'll immediately think finance. It's amazing. People don't know what commerce is. So this is your opportunity to clarify and inform them. So don't be concerned, be aware. Now, the principle of handling objections is based on, first of all, the question. What question did they ask you? And then you need to go on to understanding the next objection formula, which is the concern, because it may not be a question. It may be a concern about time, money, legality. All of these things are going to be objections, even though it's not a question. They may make a statement. And the third thing is each other. Unfortunately, you may not have a relationship of mutual respect that will allow you to proceed. It's that simple, especially if you're cold calling. You're out meeting people for the very first time. They don't know you, therefore they don't necessarily like you or trust you because they have no basis with which to develop the relationship with you on. So it's always good to be working with referred people, and you can do that through family, friends, and acquaintances. So let's go back over this again. The principles of handling objections are based on, first of all, understanding the question that they provide, the concern that they have, and then the relationship that you have with each other. So they may be objecting not to commerce through capitalism, they may be objecting to you. What do you know about commerce? What do you know about capitalism? And so this is your chance to clarify and inform them of what can allow them to move forward. So rather than just giving them facts, people are more able to relate to stories than facts alone. So you need to develop a personal story of why you're doing what you're doing and how you got involved, and you need to tell that story. I was listening to Burl Walk's session on Tuesday, or Wednesday, I should say, when Gary was speaking about the concepts of commerce through capitalism. More importantly, to do what successful, wealthy people do, you can be successful and wealthy too by doing that. And so that's what got me excited, and that's what brought me to this website, Ultimate College of Commerce, and I started to understand the power of commerce through capitalism rather than finance through the debt money system. And so I'd like to share some of what I've learned and introduce you to the Ultimate College of Commerce website. So that might be your story and how you would present that and provide some credibility as to where you're coming from with the information, because obviously to do what successful, wealthy people do is probably on the minds of everybody if they knew the basic premise was easily explained using commerce through capitalism. So your story. Now, you may not have a story, and so by not having a story, use somebody else's story. Use my story, use Burl's story, use anybody's story that you can relate to and share. In fact, having multiple stories is so very important. That's why you need to buddy up with somebody that likes and trusts you and wants to do what you're doing. Don't do it by yourself. The Savior went out and told his disciples to go 2 by 2. He didn't send them in 12 different directions around the planet. He sent them in 6 different directions around the planet, 2 by 2. We'll have other stories about that that you can relate to personally as we get into these training sessions. But to have multiple stories to share with people is more important than facts alone. And so when you have an objection, the easiest way to handle it is not with facts, but with feeling. And so you can use feel, felt, and found as the premise with which to handle the question, the concern, or the relationship that you're developing. And so you would say, I know how you feel, Bill. I know that you don't know me. And you know, when I first heard about this information, that's how I felt. But here's what I found. After reviewing what successful wealthy people do on the UFC of C site, Ultimate College of Commerce, I found that there was a simple and easily understood way with which to build wealth, just like successful wealthy people do. And I just didn't know how to do it. And so I'm inviting you to come with me on the educational journey to learn with me what successful wealthy people do using commerce through capitalism, and I'd love to have you come. Fair enough? And they'll probably say yes, because it's not costing them anything other than their time. So it could be a concern, well, this is going to cost me a lot of money. Well, you know, I know how you feel, Bill, but that's how I felt too. I was concerned about, I don't have any money. But here's what I found. I don't need money to do this. I just need to learn and share, and the money will start to flow when people see the vision and value, and I can earn referral fees for that effort. Is this legal? Well, I know how you feel about that. I was concerned that it might not be legal either, but here's what I found. Not only is it legal, it's lawful, and there's a difference between the two that we're learning about. The amazing thing is that in the Ultimate College of Commerce, you'll see a segment on the Uniform Commercial Code, which is law in the United States of America. And you'll know that everything that commerce does in the United States of America is under the Uniform Commercial Code. So absolutely everything is legal. So these are the ways that you can start to learn how to use feel, felt, found. Now, if you come up with 3 or 4 objections and you use the same response, they're going to say, wait a second here, this is a technique. It'll become redundant. So we have some alternative ways with which to handle the approach. And so you can say, I hear what you're saying. That was my concern. Here's what happened for me. Or I see what you mean, or I know what you mean. That is a challenge. Could you or would you consider? Now, let's take a look at this. So it says alternative approaches. Well, that was my concern. So obviously you would use this one when they have a concern. Is it legal? How much time is it going to take? I don't have any time to do this. And so you can say something like, well, I hear what you're saying. You know, that was my concern too, that it was going to take up all my time. But here's what happened for me. I found that I could easily learn everything I needed to know in about an hour a day, and I thought I didn't have that hour. But then I thought about what was stated in the presentation on the site, that if you keep doing what you're doing and expecting different results, that's the definition of insanity. So I needed to find that hour, because everything I was doing presently wasn't working. And so I knew I had to do what I was doing presently because I had to pay the bills. But I also needed to do something different, and that was to learn how to use commerce through capitalism to change my life. All right, the next one, I see what you mean, or I know what you mean. That is a challenge. Would you consider, could you consider? This could be an issue of money, that they want to do one of the protocols. So, you know, I know what you mean, Bill. That is a challenge, not having the money to purchase the entry level for whatever protocol you wish to do, to get a new home or to do an energy project or to start a business. But would you consider doing this? Would you come and learn with me, and we'll work together. We'll find people that do have money, and those people that do have the money that do join because they want to see their projects fulfilled, they want to see their new home purchase, their new vehicle purchase through these protocols, then we'll receive chips exchange for cash. as compensation for our referral effort. So would you consider doing that? And fair enough. These are the kinds of things that you need to create, I guess is the word I'll use there. You want to be practicing your handling of objections. And the best way to do this is to buddy up with a partner. Find somebody who wants to do this as bad as you do, and then start to practice these and come up with every objection that you could ever come up with yourself personally. And if there's 2 of you, obviously you can do twice the number of objections. If there's 3 of you, we start to see this amazing thing happen, that it won't be 12 objections, it goes into the hundreds. So, you want to really start to team up and learn together, all right? And then if you had 3 people that you involved, you're going to see that the leverage of time will allow for those 3 to get their 3, and now you're building this huge team that you can all work together with. So what I suggest that you do is you review this little video, make some notes here with some ideas that you might employ to show you understand and you're concerned for their person's objections. And so you want to make sure that they understand that you're on their side and you have empathy for their situation, because you come from their situation, perhaps having no money or no job or no future. You've got to be telling your story. So that's it for this session. Continue to review all the sessions until you can teach them yourself, because the teacher gets the best benefit of the presentation. So great success in all that you do, and we look forward to seeing you on our next session.